He seems to have forgotten that in such a race, the Governor-General does not have to go to the palace. But Kerr was absolutely right to prevent the Queen from being drawn into the crisis, for that would have turned a political crisis into a constitutional crisis, and it was his duty to prevent that from happening. Whitlam certainly would have moved to have the Governor-General dismissed had he been given any warning of the possibility of his own dismissal. Even as he was being handed his letter of dismissal, he said, "I must get in touch with the palace at once." And he did telephone the palace later that day. We also know that Labor's Speaker of the House of Representatives, Gordon Scholes, wrote to the Queen to ask her to overrule the Governor-General, to halt the democratic election process which he had set in train under Australian law, and to restore Whitlam to office as Prime Minister. Mr Speaker was reminded by Buckingham Palace that the Australian Constitution placed all constitutional matters squarely in the hands of the Governor-General in Canberra, and that the Queen had no part in the decisions which the Governor-General must take in accordance with that Constitution. That surely put an end to any claims that Australia's sovereignty, independence and national identity were centred on Buckingham Palace. It also tells us something about the intellectual dishonesty of those who want to remove the Queen from our Constitution and who profess to want Australia's constitutional affairs to be entirely in Australian hands, which they clearly are under our present Constitution and system of government, yet immediately appeal to the monarch in Britain as soon as a decision is taken in Australia by an Australian Governor-General that goes against them. Although Whitlam was constantly reminding the Governor-General, both publicly and privately, that he could act constitutionally only